And is there still the need to vaccinate students, since in general most students or young people don't suffer the severe consequences when they do obtain COVID-19?
Actually, also young people might get pretty ill from getting COVID, but at the same time, this is also something that you should relate to in a bigger picture. If more people in society are vaccinated, then we can open up quicker and better and more extensively, and that's also something that's good for students.
There are still some people that have not been vaccinated, so it's still important to get the vaccine to protect those people. Also, not everybody in the risk groups has been vaccinated, so it's still important to protect others around us. So in that case, I would say it is still needed. On the other hand, I agree with you that the risk that they might contract COVID and have severe consequences is lower, but still it can have severe consequences for young people as well. I think you hear those stories of people that develop long COVID and that actually have those consequences. So not only for the protection of others, but also for the protection of yourself. Even though the chance is lower, there's still a chance.
Now, a lot of young people and students are able to make an appointment for a vaccination. I made mine yesterday already. However, let's say I have some friends who perhaps don't want to get the vaccination, then what would your advice be in that case? What should I do?
Sometimes, you know, people are kind of hesitant to make this appointment that you made to vaccinate, unaware of the advantages that it may have. So you could inform your friends. Of course, anyone makes their own decision, and the same goes for your friends. But it would be a pity if they wouldn't make this appointment to have a vaccination based on wrong assumptions or non-information, and that's what you could do. Inform them.
I think it's okay to be in doubt. It's okay to be informed. My personal advice would be don't doubt, just take the vaccine, but that's a personal opinion. But if they are still in doubt, I would advise them to just actively seek information and also seek good information. There is information from the university that will be available to students that will inform them about vaccines, what they are, how they work, and also help them to think about reasons why they should take it. So get informed.
For me at least, and I know for many other people that are close to you are always the best reason to go for a particular decision, right? So I think maybe that would be my best advice, to think of people that are close to them and what they would wish for them, for their health and for their future.
What would be the main advantages of getting a vaccination?
Yeah, I think one of the main advantage, I think, is that if we get our vaccines, that will help us to return to normal life again. I also think that it of course allows you to protect yourself, but also all our people around you that might be at risk for contracting the virus. So protection, I think, is an important advantage. And otherwise, I think a third advantage is also that it helps us to control the virus because it's simple. The more people that have been vaccinated, the easier we can control spread of the virus and also can control any mutations of the virus.
Why did you get the vaccination?
I wanted to protect myself, and also I have some vulnerable people in my social network, including my parents, for example. So also for them, I wanted to have the vaccination. It's something that you do not just do only for yourself. It's also something that you do for people that are close to you, but even for people that you don't even know, right? So people in society. So you're also doing it for population health.
Are students willing to get vaccinated?
Well, we have an idea about that because our task group, we actually did a study among students and we asked them all types of things related to COVID-19, but we also asked them whether they were willing to get vaccinated. So I think we included over 400 students coming from all faculties, and in that study 80% of them actually indicated that they were willing to get vaccinated. So those are really promising numbers, and also in the Netherlands you see that the willingness to get vaccinated is increasing. Some of the students have side jobs at the test locations and also now at the vaccination centers. And I have talked to students that were lucky to get a vaccine at the end of the day. So they didn't really count on that, but then it's all of a sudden happened. And when I was talking to them, they were like they won the lottery of something. They were really happy that they got the vaccine. So that's nice to hear.
I have a personal story about us making an appointment, us meaning my wife and me. And then my wife actually immediately tried on her telephone to make the appointment in the car with our 2 sons, adolescents, sitting in the back. And actually she managed to make the appointment. And she said, I managed to make the appointment already. And then one of my 2 boys sitting in the back saying, Mama, you're getting emotional here. And actually she indeed got some kind of emotional because of the fact that she managed to make this appointment. And I'm not sure where the emotion came from, but I think it is this feeling that this may be the beginning of getting back to normal, or the new normal.
Will we ever get back to normal? When will this be the case?
You see that it's changing already. We will have new loosening of the restrictions. You already see communication with regards to the new academic year, which will be more normal than it was this year.
If more people decide to go for vaccination, the numbers will go down, the COVID infections. So that would mean that, you know, we are getting closer to normal. My personal prediction would be that we will not be there yet totally. And we will need to take into account the measures that we know. If we've learned anything from COVID, is that it's really, really hard to predict what's going to happen with the virus. Depending on the behavior of other people as well. If many people decide to go for the vaccination, things will get back to the new normal, so to say, relatively quickly. And we can, you know, go back to the behaviors that we were used to in the old normal. Quicker and quicker and more extensively.
I think the signs are everywhere around us. The numbers are decreasing. We are allowed to go outside, to go to restaurants, to even sit inside in restaurants. The number of people you can see is slowly increasing. So we will go back to normal, but it just takes a little patience.